Hey, beautiful soul. Thank you for joining me, Mystic Mia, here on Moment Tarot for a monthly energy forecast. We're looking at July 2025, but of course, it'll resonate whenever you come across this reading. I'm going to look at the four main energies of this month. You can kind of see it as how the energy kind of progress, or just kind of like the main themes that will be going on for the entire month, or this kind of season, this kind of time. In general, the month before, the month after. I also have 4 crystals here that you can choose 1 or 2 to be like the main energy or the minor energy for you specifically. And I have the main astrological events going on in July just to kind of reference before we jump right into the reading. Although if you want to do that, you can look at the timestamps in the description. So in the first week, we have a lot of Venus energy, Venus conjunct Uranus, Venus going into Gemini, and then Neptune going into retrograde. So there's a strong energy in regards to love, relationships, and I'm getting goals in terms of goals. Venus and Uranus, kind of like the daughter-father type of energy, but it could also be something unexpected in terms of relationships or finances. We have Venus going into Gemini and then Uranus going into Gemini. So these are kind of big energies happening in this first week of July. And of course, we have the full moon. And then this Mercury retrograde that's in the middle of the month is major. So we only have 2 portal dates in July, and that's the 18th and 20th. That's based on the Mayan calendar. And those are days where the spiritual energy is so intense. It's like one of those days where you have headaches, or you have to call out of work, or you just feel like doing nothing but inner work and you're thinking about a lot of things. You might get an epiphany. It depends on how you are, where you are in your spiritual journey, but not only that, but how you are doing that specific day. Like, have you been taking care of yourself health-wise? Have you been on top of your inner work? That will show you what these energetically intense days will be like for you, because there is going to be spiritual work done this weekend. The 18th specifically is the big, heavy day. This Mercury retrograde is going to be a big one. So that weekend is pretty intense, Leo season, new moon in Leo. And then at the end of the month, very end, July 31st, there is a Chiron retrograde, which coincides with the Mercury cazimi in Leo. So the Mercury retrograde is in Leo. So there's a lot happening with, if we're talking about light worker starseeds here, about inner work in relation to coming onto the world stage. If you've been in hermit mode for a very long time during your spiritual journey, this is the time where you're doing any last bit of inner work before you kind of debut your spiritual talents, your soul mission, and kind of get set in the world. So this is like where a lot of light workers will find actual job, career opportunities out in the world, find their soul mission, find their purpose. And the purpose doesn't have to be money, career related. It could be people related. It could be location related. It could be daily activities, personal hobbies, and goals related. And for a lot of folks, a lot of spiritual folks, you've been kind of doing this inner work, you know, from last year to the beginning of this year. And then we have this Mercury cazimi, which is going to amplify this energy at the end of the month. And as we go into Leo season, it's just going to be like popping off, like new things starting in regards to you being seen for all the things that you have done, you know, behind the scenes, and in preparation for stepping into your purpose. So it's just going to be like one after another. So this is a really important month. I know it's like kind of like going in Mercury retrograde, but this is going to be a really great one because it's the one that kind of sets you out into the world finally, kind of thing, you know? All right, so yeah, so we have blue argonite here, amazonite, labradorite, and celestite, celestite, whatever you call it. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to pick your crystals now, and then we'll go into the main energies. All right, so let's look at the first main energy of July. Okay, King of Wands in reverse. All right, so there is a definite feeling of like long-term things are coming into focus, even if you can't quite see what those long-term things are just yet. You can tell, you can feel with your entire like intuition, your entire body, that like these are the things you're meant for, and these are the things that are coming in now. Like there's a lot of probably telltale signs, synchronicities, like things kind of moving around and shifting around in your life that like, okay, this is for this reason, or that's for that reason, and they're all kind of moving you forward, but you don't know how it kind of correlates, these big shifts and changes in your life just yet, but you know it's for like the long haul. Okay. Wow, luck. Okay, and so both these cards came out in reverse, which means that like this is popping off immediately. So I do feel like you've already kind of entered a state of light, more prosperity, more good luck, more things going your way. And I do not doubt it's because of the hard work you put in. It says here that you are right to be strong and optimistic about the opportunities ahead. I feel like at this point, if I'm talking to you, Lightworker, Starseed, Wayshorer, Spiritual Warrior, Game Changer, you trust yourself, you trust the universe, you trust the energies, you know how it works, that this is in fact happening. Like there's no doubt in your mind. You're just letting it kind of play out. And letting things fall into place. I feel like it takes so long to kind of trust yourself and the universe to this level, at this level, but you've reached that, and that comes with its perks. But you don't get to that point of trusting, understanding, and all that if you haven't done the work, if you haven't challenge your relationship with the universe or God or your higher self or whatever it is, all of the above. If you haven't questioned it, if you haven't looked into it, if you looked at it in different perspectives and tried different things on your spiritual journey, you know, tried different paths and persevered, and you know, like you don't get to this level of trust, understanding, and love for the divine, and therefore be able to receive that level of love from the divine if you haven't done the work. If you know, you know. Okay. What does this look like for you in the physical? Master of Lightning, that is the King of Wands again. Wow. Leadership. So again, it's like you've been prepared for this role. You've been kind of prepared to take on more responsibility and a bigger project in this lifetime. And, you know, everyone has their personal goals. There's a lot of people who dream bigger, and that's not always better. You know, there's people who know what they want, what's authentic to them, and those are the people who succeed in life, whether it is something more close to home or something that is more worldwide. It doesn't matter as long as it's authentic. And so there is a definite sense here that like you are stepping into that role that was created for you, and it's because you're ready for it. It's kind of like you're being prepared for it, being challenged about it, kind of pushed to your limits for, and now you're here. And it's kind of like you wouldn't have been given the role if you weren't ready for it, if you weren't prepared for it, if you didn't put the hard work in. So it's kind of like you're getting this opportunity only because you did what's required. You know, if you didn't, you'd be passed up and someone else would fill that role. And the universe doesn't play around with that. Okay, Spirit Guide. All right, so there's you can't miss this. I do feel for some of you this is a past or a loved one, but I do feel like this is a spirit guide that you are familiar with. And if not, this is a spirit guide that's coming in very powerfully for you right now, where it's kind of very obvious. It's the same energy that is pushing you towards these opportunities. They don't want you to miss this opportunity. Whatever this like new job opportunity or life opportunity or whatever kind of opportunity that is kind of like so perfect for you that you've been working on, that is coming on your path right now, they don't want you to miss it. So this extra push from this spirit guide, and I do feel like for a lot of you it is a past or loved one, if you have a grandmother, grandfather figure, or some sort of past or loved one, parental figure type deal. I'm not even going to go as far as ancestors. I'm getting it's a specific energy, and it's one, and it will be obvious because they have a specific way of communicating. For me, when I learned to channel, there was like different energies and entities that I recognize because they use telepathy in a specific way. And this is kind of the same way with this spirit guide. Like they show signs and synchronicities in the same sort of ways, or they kind of communicate in the same sort of ways, or they kind of speak to you through signs in a specific kind of way. That's how you know it's like the same type of energy. So I think you're going to notice that this one specific type of energy is making itself known because they are so adamant. This is like in your inner circle of spirit guides, like your, really close spirit guide that is making sure and nudging you that you don't miss out on this opportunity and make the right decisions and go towards the paths that are meant for you coming up right now, but I'm getting for the rest of the year as well. Ooh. Okay. I'm just going to pull a card, and then they kind of all like skedaddle, which means like when that happens, when a lot of my deck just kind of falls apart, when I'm trying to pull like one card, it usually means that like this spirit guide or your spirit team is trying to say a lot to you right now. So it'd be a really great time to, however you get your messages, through meditation or channeling, automatic writing, or dream state, whatever gets you those messages. Like this is a good time to do it because they have a lot to say to you. Okay, and then the fox. Okay. Which is 14 here. So the fox is clever, intelligent, fraud, and treachery. It's kind of like, it kind of goes both ways. Intelligence, like you can use it for good, you can use it for bad, and that's why people don't usually trust intelligent people, is because it's like, oh, what kind of game are they trying to play? Like, what do they know about me that I don't know about myself? What do they know about the situation that I don't know? Like, what kind of mind games are they playing? Like, are they smarter than me? Like, what do they think of me? Like, when you meet someone who you think is your intellectual superior, it kind of makes you behave differently. It's just human nature. And that's why intelligence is prized, but also kind of very heavily guarded against in society. I absolutely love it, though, being a snake in the Chinese New Year. Chinese horoscope. Okay, and the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay. So the King of Wands and the Luck card came out in reverse, and so did the Spirit Guide. Okay, so because it's right under the Spirit Guide card, I definitely feel like they are connecting to you, and I feel like you're kind of missing it. It's kind of like they're showing you obvious signs, synchronicities, and messages, and it's going above your head. So I definitely feel like they have some intelligence for you, and I do feel like this is kind of information they wouldn't share with just anyone. They do recognize that you have the the intellectual capacity to understand whatever this is. And this is kind of seen, when, for example, there's like a scientific discovery that's, there's a scientific idea that's kind of spread across like a few different scientists all across the world. It's kind of like whoever it sticks to. So they're like, this is that kind of idea. This is that kind of download that they're trying to get to you, which is kind of like, we're showing this to a very limited amount of people, only people who could understand this type of knowledge, this type of idea, this type of innovation, or whatever it is, like you're going to be one of them. Like, pay attention. Pay attention. All right, so let's go into the next mean energy. It's the Amazonite. What is going on around this time? All right, so we have the Six of Swords in reverse, going within for sure. We see that. And Fool card. Have the courage to embrace change, take risks, and be adventurous. All right, so this is kind of an, you know, when you come across an opportunity where you feel like, I have to be a fool to take this on. Like, I have to, like, not even just a fool, but it's like, this is going to be the beginning of the rest of my life. This is either the smartest or the stupidest decision that I make. It's one of those kind of moments in your life where you're like, this could be huge. This could be the biggest thing. This could be the thing that sets me up for life, or that lasts a long time in my life, or that's very meaningful and that I can build upon. Or it can be the thing that like breaks and crumbles and I have to start over again, and you know, that might break me at some points, you know. So that's kind of where I feel like a lot of folks are going to be at this point in July. It's kind of like a make it or break it moment. You know, it's like, but you would be a fool to kind of give up this opportunity, even if it doesn't work out, because it's a chance of a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where I'm kind of getting this energy. It says here, have the courage to embrace change and take the risks, be adventurous. I know I already said it, but it's kind of like, I kind of feel like you're kind of like rereading the contract or going over the decision over and over in your head when you already know what you're going to do, because you've waited a like whole lifetime for a chance like this, and you'd probably regret it if you don't take it. Not probably, most absolutely would regret it if you don't take it, but you're still trying to like weigh your options and see like the pros and cons and kind of like think about it in a logical sense and take other people's opinions maybe, or you know, I feel like a lot of you are going to keep this kind of under wraps, but maybe you have a few confidants that you can like kind of weigh in on this decision. You're doing a lot of research, but you, in your heart of hearts, you already know what you're going to do because you're going in. You know this is kind of opportunity you've been waiting for. Even if it doesn't work out, what's the alternative? To not take this opportunity of a lifetime, you know? Okay, so what does this look like for you in the physical sense? Temperance in reverse, just breathe. Wow, okay, so for me, when the temperance comes out in reverse, that means risk. Taking a risk. Sometimes you gotta take those risks. And this might be the perfect time to. I mean, listen to your own intuition, make your own decisions. You know, if this is like something that has to do with your finances or your health or something major like that, obviously consult a professional. But if I had to be honest, you probably already know what you want to do. It's not even like, are you ready? Are you courageous, confident enough? It's like, are you willing to take this chance? You already know. You already are confident and courageous and willing and ready. It's just taking that step. Compassion came out in reverse. I do feel like this is... I'm going to pull... Came out in reverse. I'm wondering if this is for you or for... Yeah, I do feel like you're kind of looking for some sort of compassion from others. Like, I feel like this is you I feel like whatever you're going to be doing is like saving the world or helping others or doing something that makes a really big change in people's lives. And you're just wanting someone to like kind of notice. You're wanting someone to have compassion for like what you're giving up, what you sacrifice, what you've been through, put yourself through to take this risk for an opportunity that helps other people more. So you're kind of just like looking for kind of recognition or something. which I totally get. Like, you want someone to kind of put themselves in your shoes and see how much you're doing. Like, you spend all day helping others, or you spend so much time focusing on other people, and you just want for once for someone to kind of recognize what you're doing for them or what you're doing for others, you know? Like, just kind of be seen is what I'm getting. I think that's why you're kind of going in about this opportunity, because you're like, I'm about to kind of like spend my life doing this thing that helps more people or does this big thing that helps the world. And it's like, what about me? You know, this is when the ego comes out, and not in a selfish or bad way. It's just kind of like, you know, like, we're human. We have our meat suits in the physical reality. We want to be seen. We have to be seen. It's human. And there's a part of all of us, even light workers and starseeds, that need to be kind of seen, because then what's the point? I know there's like saints out there that do all this kind of work without having to be recognized or acknowledged, and you know, there's a little bit of selfishness with that too, because you're doing it because it makes people happy, and when it makes people happy, it makes you happy, kind of. But it's kind of like to the point where they just like are taking their own clothes off their back to make other people happy. But that's not normal. Not saying it's not bad. In a lot of cases, it could be bad. But if you don't have the capacity to pull off that type of energy, like be a saint through and through, that's fine. That's abnormal. That's, you know, out of that's an outlier. That's not typical. That's not typical. That's atypical. That's a specific type of life path. But for most of us that are here, and there's a lot of us here now, it doesn't hurt to be seen and recognized, and to have people know what you're doing. And I feel like that kind of coincides with astrology, where we saw that, like, you know, light workers are going to be starting to like be seen by others and recognized for what they do, and know that there must have been a lot of hard work that's been put behind the scenes in order to get that type of skill set or knowledge or experience or, you know, level of wherever you are in that career or life or something like that. So there is a sort of recognition that's going on, and that's not normal. That's not abnormal. That's actually very, very normal. Okay, the Tower, which is 19 here. So Tower is innovation, authority, education, and ego. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So we definitely see here that, like, of course you want to build something big, but what's the point of building something big if no one ever gets to see it? It's like kind of like, it's like building a very ornate castle or mansion or a garden or something like that. It's like, what's the point of building something that beautiful and that grand if no one gets to see it? It's for the people. It's for, you know, this beautiful planet that we call home. It's to add to the beauty of the world, whether it's a physical building or it's some sort of legacy, some sort of idea, a new kind of system or new type of job or new type of community or whatever new type of idea that you put out there. Like, it's meant to be seen. Okay. And oh wow, and then the King of Swords next to the Queen of Swords, and then we have the Page of Swords here. And so it's kind of like you've come into this like mastery type energy, and there's still like an inner page. I'm not gonna say inner child, because I feel like this is a page, like someone who, like, when they started off in this career or in the spiritual path, you know, was hoping that, like, you know, I want to do good. I want to do good for the sake of doing good, but at the same time, like, wouldn't it be nice to just be seen? You know, even if it's by a fellow light worker or fellow starseed, fellow spiritual warrior, way shower, game changer, whatever it is, like, wouldn't it be nice to just be seen? And so with the Queen and King of Swords coming up here, I do feel like you might get seen by someone you didn't expect. I think you might find your match here, and it could be a business partner. It could be a platonic soulmate, kind of like a soulmate friend that's going to be there for you for life. But for a lot of you, that's going to be a partner in life, but it might not start off that way because we do have the swords here. All right, so now we're going to the next energy. So the Labradorite, let's go into the third main energy. Okay, Justice in reverse. Good karma coming back, I heard, immediately. In huge ways. That's why I'm saying, even though this is kind of a lot of going within, doing inner work type of month, it's not in the kind of ways that you've done before. This is the inner work that you're doing so you can come out into the world more fully as yourself. And this is something that you might have been doing for the past year and a half. So we have the Justice card in reverse, good karma coming back is what I'm hearing. Just desserts, getting the results of your hard work, rewards. Birth, universal energy brings you opportunity and possibility. Opportunity and possibility. And this is the word that kept coming up the entire reading. Opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. There is a very fortuitous opportunity coming your way that is going to change something. And this is an opportunity that comes from good karma. Being a good person, doing the right thing. And, sometimes it's not even doing the right thing. It's just being authentic. Sometimes you got to be the bad guy. Sometimes you got to stand up for yourself, stand up for another person, or just be you, or just not feel guilty for just kind of doing what you felt was right in the moment. Being authentic and doing the right thing doesn't always look that way. Not saying that doing bad things all the time is going to be giving you good karma, but every once in a while, But all in all, 51% doing good things, that does something to your energy, to the energy of the people around you, to the energy of people you don't even know that are around you in your community, in your town, city, whatever, in the place that you work, in the place that you live, and for the collective. So, things come due and you're paid. And you might not know that. And it's kind of funny actually today. I did some work and I was kind of skeptical if this person was going to pay me for my work. It was a significant amount of money and they came through. So, true that. Okay, so how does this look in your physical life? The Hierophant in reverse. Okay, so the Justice card and the Hierophant are in reverse here. Okay, you did the unlearning. Okay, so this is for my fellow conspiracy theorists, those who have very fringe ideas and have discovered beliefs that they believe in that is, holds very true for yourself. Other people might just feel like, what is this person talking to? To my fellow black sheeps, to those who are research, to their hard work, and find out ancient knowledge, do your own experiments and figure things out and put it out there with no shame, with this is what you're interested in, this is what you work on, this is what you've discovered, and this is what you tried, and this is what you can disprove and prove. This is for you. This is for you guys. Freedom in reverse. All right, so the only card that didn't come out in reverse is Birth, kind of showing that that this was inevitable. It's just happening sooner for you. So I definitely feel because when the cards come out in reverse, that's a sign to me that things are happening now, sooner rather than later. Because 3 cards came out in reverse, it feels like this was always in your life path. This is always in your destiny to kind of achieve this kind of spiritual awareness and spiritual success. But because of the amount of work that you've done and in the time frame that you have, like really being dedicated to it, focused, and kind of getting to a point where it's like, you know what you know what you believe, and you don't care what other people think, but if they ask, you can explain it, or you can kind of help others if they ask, that type of energy, then you know, which is funny, that's kind of relevant in my life too. People asking for my help all the time when they like, I never believed in this stuff, and it's like, I don't know how we even met. Coming up to me out of the woodworks, even from years ago. It's kind of weird. Anyway, yeah, freedom. Okay, so I feel like because you fought for the freedom of thought, freedom of belief, freedom to do what you felt was authentic and right for yourself, whether it's research different topics, try different things for your body and health, look at different perceptions of the same situation, whether it's something you experience or other people experience. Because you didn't cage yourself in, you are getting the gift of wisdom. And you're probably thinking like, oh, that's a gift. Didn't I earn that? You did, but because you worked for it, you're getting access to certain types of universal, like Akashic Records type wisdom that isn't gifted to just anyone. Like, you have to be tested and you go through the trial and tribulations in order to get access to this type of wisdom, if you know what I mean. Okay, all right, so lastly, we have the child here, which is number 18. All right, so I can't find 18. Okay, where is the child? 18. Is that not an 8? It's 13. Okay, it's 13. Child, all right. Beginnings, trust, innocence, and children. It's funny, I kept getting stuck on 18, which is the moon card. So there is an unexpected beginning happening. I know some of you are kind of freaking out. It's like, oh my God, is that a kid? For some of you, yeah, it is. For others, it's like a new kind of beginning. It could even be a business idea. It could be a new pet. It could be a new relationship. It could be a new job. It could be a new living situation. But it's something that comes with such purity, such pure energy. So weird. I did a reading for someone recently. Someone that came out of the woodworks and asked for help. Which this kind of energy aligns with, where it's just like, this house is coming to you because there's like a gift from the universe. Where this house has way more value to it in every which way than its money value, and somehow you know this person was going to get that in somehow, some way. But it's kind of like this, the value of this home is way more than its money value, and they're getting it for a deal or something like that. And it's kind of like, you're just deserves. It's just the universe kind of being like, yeah, you deserve this beautiful new beginning that has such pure energy. So like, whatever it is, whether it's a house, a new job, a new career, a new whatever, relationship, new child, new pet, whatever, it has a lot of pure energy behind it. And when you are surrounded by that much pure energy, that is divine energy, and that kind of levels you up into the next tier of abundance. Like, you upgrade yourself. You're kind of like upgrade yourself. Like, I wouldn't call it like 5D, but you're kind of like upgrading your energies to the next level, to the point where you're going to be attracting different types of things than that's what's around you right now. Better, more higher quality. and the Three of Cups, and it came out in reverse. I do feel like there are going to be a few people around you. I'm getting few, so like, 2, 3 at most, that are going to bring in this type of energy. So I definitely think that some of this pure energy is coming through people. This could be the right people who can celebrate with you on this win, this victory, or this new house, new job, career. I feel like it might be more than 2 or 3, including yourself, so 4. It could be like 5, 7. It could be, it's just like a small group. And I feel like this small group of people are the only people you would trust or even tell that this good news is good, like miraculous physical opportunity falling on your lap kind of thing. Like you don't want to tell many people, but like you do have a small crowd where you're like, I trust these people to tell them about this. Very few. Keep it small. I'm getting from the universe. I mean, you have the wisdom for it. And this like connection to the Akashic, I'm just going to pull a quick card about that, because the Empress, yeah, you're leveling up. Okay, so it's kind of like, when you like, for example, in a company, if you kind of level up in your status, in your rank, your title, you might get a new company car with that, a pay raise, a new title. Maybe you get more vacation days. People on that higher level can like offer you their vacation homes or trips on their boat. It's kind of like a leveling up. That's what I'm getting from Spirit. It's like you leveled up and you're getting all these kind of opportunities. Kind of to match what your energy is now, what your title, what your role for the universe is now. So I do feel like you get like this kind of like access to this wisdom and knowledge with this upgrade, but you also get like the physical perks. You're getting the perks, baby. All right, so let's look at this 4th energy. All right, so let's see what the 4th energy here with the Celestite. Page of Swords and beware of who you trust at this time. Yeah, we got that kind of message where it's like, yeah, you want to keep your circle close and tight, and like literally like forget family, friends, financial advisor, your mentor, forget everyone, and literally look at this situation and like truly ask yourself, who can I trust at this time in my life? Not who can I trust in my life yesterday or in the past, who has been there for me, who deserves to know. No, forget all that. Who can you trust, who really has your back, who's not going to try to use a situation to kind of gain for this themselves? And if that means no one, then let it be no one. Is that important? Is that crucial at this point in your life? To make sure that you only bring with you as you move forward, people that you actually trust, that aren't going to kind of come taking your energy, shutting off their mouth, saying things that you might not be able to trust, might tell other people, that might like hate you for this whatever is coming into your life, this opportunity, this success, or whatever. Even if you want their advice, you trust them. You really have to, at this point, there's no BSing, there's no pussyfooting around, like there's no way around it. You have to protect your energies and protect your manifestations. There's no question about it. Okay. How does this affect you in your physical life? 2 of Cups. And that's what I'm talking about. I do feel like there's going to be a true few folks, maybe several for some of you, but I feel like for most of you, it's, 4 or less folks that you can completely trust, who want the best for you, who's not going to be asking you for a piece of the pie, who is looking out for themselves, who can like try to help you and they think they're helping you, but they're really just detracting from you. Very, very much think about this. And this could be people that you've known for years, have helped you out in the past, who've been there for you. You feel like you've kind of done the reverse to them. No, you don't owe anyone anything. You got to this point on your own. And you have to be extremely careful with who you give your energy to at this point. Very, very careful. Beauty. Okay, and so there is a lot of divine energy coming through this romantic love partnership. So this could be someone that you're already in a relationship with, if you're already with your soulmate. If not, this is a soulmate type energy coming in. For most of you, it's going to be the romantic type. For others, it could be a platonic friendship or business partnership. But for all of you, it is a very, very high level connection that is going to amplify this amount of purity and divine energy coming into your life right now. Everything kind of like, comes in as you kind of upgrade, level up, and it just kind of all, works together in that way. So I'm not surprised, but it does kind of let you see that, yeah, you are in a different reality, a different world at this point. The way you interact with people, the way you see things, the way that you perceive things, everything's kind of like, when they say you're in love, you see brighter colors and you're just like happier, just notice the little moments a little bit more. It's like that type of energy where it's like kind of like you recognize that you're thinking differently, you're interacting with things in your environment differently, different self-thought, different thoughts about yourself, different thoughts about others. You don't even see things that don't matter to you, that don't have to do with you. It's kind of that type of energy. Oh, wow. And the clover, bringing it back, the 4-leaf clover, full circle here. Okay, it's the 2. So we see luck, success, serendipity, and rewards. I am telling you, this is a very, very lucky month. I feel like Cancer season, July, is always a very lucky month for a lot of spiritual folks. It just works with astrology. And then we get the death card. Okay. This is a great death, like a serendipitous, positive death. I do think a lot of you will be surprised to see something very, very big in your life. And I think it's like literally the death of the old version of yourself, the old version of your life that you no longer resonate with. I think it might be surprising to you how quickly things change and how quickly it changed towards this new reality, this new version of your life that you've been working at. It's almost like night and day. This is a very significant time where this kind of thing can happen, where such big physical changes could happen very quickly. It is that kind of energy. There is a little bit of going in and working on putting yourself out there physically, but that coincides with so many other positive things. You're ready for it. You're not scared about it. With big opportunities, with a career, job, living situation, relationships, that kind of thing. Having a child, having something like that. Trusting a very true few. It's very serendipitous. Good luck coming through. Good karma going through. All this kind of energy kind of coinciding. It kind of works. It's all linking up. And all you got to do is be aware that who you share this kind of stuff with. Know this is a beautiful transformation, one that you have been looking forward to. Might be surprised how quickly and how fast it's happening and how sudden, how soon. And how you're being helped from your spirit guide, that a really, really main one, to kind of navigate this time so you make all the right decisions, make the right choices for yourself, and get all your questions answered. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I really appreciate a like or comment. And with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day. And I wish you much love and light.